What if I told you that one of the top Buddhist universities in the entire world is probably not at all what you're picturing? Today, we're going to dive into this really fascinating place that's sitting right at the intersection of ancient history, deep spirituality, and, believe it or not, cutting-edge modern science. So get this. Right out of the gate, when you look at the world's leading Buddhist universities, this one clocks in at number 2. I mean, that's a huge deal on the global stage. But what kind of place are we even talking about? And maybe more importantly, how does an institution with such ancient roots manage to compete at that high of an academic level? Okay, it's called Mahachulongkorn Raja Vidyalaya University. We're just going to call it MCU. And right here in its official mission is where things get super interesting. It's not just about preserving old texts, it's about actively integrating Buddhism with modern sciences. And their goal, to create something they call Buddhist innovation. Now that's a powerful, really forward-thinking idea for any university, let alone one that's been around for so long.
And that number 2 global ranking, that's not some fluke or an award in a tiny little niche. When you actually dig into the data, you start to see that MCU is a major academic player way beyond what you might think of as a traditional monastic school.
So we know it's a powerhouse in its field worldwide. But here's what makes the story so compelling. How does it stack up against all the other universities in Thailand? The tech schools, the medical colleges, the whole shebang. Well, it absolutely holds its own. Times Higher Education puts it at number 34 for its impact on society, and Webometrics ranks it 54th out of almost 200 universities in the country. This isn't just about religious studies. This is a nationally recognized academic force. So you gotta ask, how did a place like this even come to exist? Well, its prestige isn't something new. It actually goes all the way back to a royal vision from the 19th century. It was founded way back in 1887 by the legendary King Rama V. The original mission was pretty focused. It was meant to be a center for studying scripture and meditation. But here's the thing. The university didn't just stay stuck in the past. It evolved, and it evolved in a big way, transforming from that original spiritual center into the leading public university we see today. It's like a living bridge between that royal legacy and a modern public mission. And that evolution brings us to the MCU of today. When you look past the ancient history, what you find is a modern academic powerhouse that pretty much shatters all expectations. At its core, the university rests on these 4 big pillars. Of course, you've got a faculty of Buddhism, but right alongside it, you have a faculty of education, a faculty of humanities, and a faculty of social sciences. And that is the key. This is the structure of any major comprehensive university. It signals a serious commitment to a wide range of subjects, not just a single area of focus. And within those faculties, the sheer number of options is kind of mind-blowing. We're not talking about a couple of degrees here and there. We're talking about more than 230 different academic programs. That's the whole spectrum, from bachelor's degrees all the way up to PhDs. Students have a massive range of paths they can actually pursue. And all that choice brings in a lot of people. This is no small, quiet school. We're talking about around 20,000 students enrolled across the country. That puts MCU on a scale that's comparable to a lot of major public universities. It's a huge player in the country's education system. So, who are these 20,000 students? Well, this is where that old image of a monastery school just completely dissolves. Yes, it was founded to educate monks or novices, but today, MCU's doors are wide open to literally everyone. You have the general public, lay people, studying right alongside the monastic community. It creates this incredibly unique and integrated learning environment. Now, that spirit of openness, it doesn't just stop at Thailand's borders. MCU has actually become this major international crossroads, pulling in students and scholars from all over the planet. Just how international are we talking? Well, the numbers speak for themselves. The university is home to more than 2,300 international students. I mean, to put that into perspective, that single number makes it one of the top destinations for foreign students in the entire country. And they're not all coming from one place either. These students represent 27 different countries. Just imagine that. It creates this incredibly vibrant, multicultural campus where you have all these global ideas mixing and mingling with ancient Thai wisdom. So how in the world does MCU manage this kind of scale, both at home and abroad? Well, the secret is in its structure. It's not just one campus. It's a huge distributed network. You've got the main central campus, but then there are another dozen campuses across Thailand, almost 30 affiliated monastic colleges, and even institutes abroad. It's a system designed to spread its teachings and influence far and wide. And all of this, it brings us right back to that powerful mission statement we saw at the very beginning. This quote just nails it. It's not about choosing between faith and reason, or the past and the present. It's about integrating them, bringing ancient wisdom and modern science together to create real innovations that help both the individual and society as a whole. So in the end, the story of MCU really leaves us with this big, important question for our own time. In a world that's changing so fast, what role can, or even should, ancient wisdom play in modern education? MCU offers one really compelling answer. It's a fascinating model and definitely something worth thinking about.